Thank you for joining us for CBN News Watch. I'm Ephraim Graham. Ahead today, high prices going higher as inflation remains the #1 problem for Americans. New government reports show the cost of living still going up, while the economy has been turning down.
We had the first 6 months of the year, the economy contracted. That's the very definition of recession. And I define this as a recession, a cost of living recession, where Americans are just getting pounded.
Why inflation could be the top issue in this year's elections. Democrats aim to make abortion a top election issue. As many critics claim, pro-lifers don't care about babies after they're born.
We care both for women, their preborn children, and then child after birth as well.
But pro-life advocates disagree. A possible presidential candidate. Our conversation with Nikki Haley about a possible run for the White House and her faith in God.
I always go back to Joshua, 1:9. Be strong and be courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, because God will be with you every step of the way.
90% of the world's languages do not have their own version of the Old Testament. Now, one group is working to change that.
Original Testament gap refers to the fact that the original Testament is undertranslated, underused, and frequently misunderstood.
We'll bring you a look at this amazing project. And the third season of the faith-based series The Chosen debuts next month, with the first 2 episodes being shown on the big screen in theaters. All those stories and more today on CBN NewsWatch.
This is CBN News Watch.
We begin this half hour with the top concern for Americans today, inflation. Most people's salaries are not keeping up with rising prices. At the same time, the economy has been in a slump. All of that is expected to have a major impact on the upcoming midterm elections. Heather Sells brings us our top story.
Fears about the U.S. and global economy have flared this week, with fresh reports of inflation and grim warnings from the International Monetary Fund about global recession.
In short, the worst is yet to come, and for many people, 2023 will feel like a recession.
Global inflation is expected to peak at 9.5% this year, and that is threatening to stall the European, Chinese, and U.S. economies. Some economists, like Stephen Moore, say the U.S. is already in a recession.
We had the first 6 months of the year, the economy contracted. That's the very definition of recession. And I define this as a recession, a cost of living recession, where Americans are just getting pounded.
Earlier in the week, the president sought to play down concerns.
I don't think there will be a recession. If it is, it'll be a very slight recession. We're in a better position than any other major country in the world, economically and politically.
Americans, however, know otherwise. As inflation soars, their paychecks are shrinking alongside their retirement accounts. The Federal Reserve has taken extraordinary measures to curb rising prices. It has increased short-term interest rates by 3 points since March, hoping to tamp down the highest inflation since the early 1980s. And it is expected to hike them again when it meets November 1st. On top of all this, the threat of the first major U.S. rail strike in 30 years is back, right as the holidays approach. This week, railroad workers rejected President Biden's deal.
It may be harder to find some of the consumer goods you're used to.
Gallup and other polls show that heading into the midterm elections, Americans are most concerned about the economy and inflation in particular. And those concerns could influence who controls both the House and the Senate. Heather Sells, CBN News.
While inflation and the economy are the top issues for the majority of voters, Democrats are making abortion a key focus in their battle to keep control of Congress. However, abortion trails well behind in polls on key voter priorities. A recent survey from ABC News and the Washington Post found the economy to be the #1 issue, with abortion at #5. And in a recent interview with the Associated Press, Democratic strategist James Carville said abortion alone isn't enough for Democrats, especially when they're being attacked on crime and inflation. Roe versus Wade was overturned. Many critics since that time have made the decision or arguing that those fighting for the lives of the unborn don't actually care for the mothers or the children once those kids are born. But longtime pro-life advocates argue that is simply not the case. CBN's Abigail Robertson brings us more on the work one pro-life ministry has been doing for decades and how this work is changing in post-Roe America.
For 40 years, Lifeline Children's Services has been caring for women dealing with unexpected pregnancies, letting them know they have options while meeting both tangible and spiritual needs.
Our mission is to equip the body of Christ to care for vulnerable children, their mothers, and their families.
Chelsea Sobolik tells CBN News Lifeline is licensed in 17 states and has an international presence as well.
We care both for women, their preborn children, and then child after birth as well.
Additionally, Lifeline helps children in the foster care system.
We have a program called Harbor Families that will provide respite care before a child ever enters into the foster care system. We provide pregnancy counseling for a woman to truly feel empowered to make either a parenting decision if that's in her best interest and the child's best interest, but also to make an adoption plan if that's where she feels led.
Chelsea says the key is partnerships with local churches.
We really do want to make sure that women have what they need. And that, again, they feel seen and loved and the hope of the gospel. And then those children are also taken care of.
Born in Romania and adopted as a baby, she sees this work as very personal.
Adoption has been normal for me my entire life because that's how our family was built.
At 17, Chelsea learned she wouldn't be able to have children. She and her husband are currently pursuing an international adoption through Lifeline and trusting God to grow their family.
He has called us to this and that he is directing our steps and he knows who our children are.
And Chelsea bristles at accusations that pro-life advocates only care about political wins and not the women involved.
Look back at the work done over the past 40, 50 years. There have been hundreds and hundreds of pregnancy resource centers started all over the country to care for the practical needs of women. Christians are 3 times more likely to adopt than people who don't have faith. The church has been serving women for decades.
Chelsea adds, while it's too early to gauge the impact of the Supreme Court's decision on adoption in America, Lifeline stands ready to help both the women and children affected in post-Roe America. Reporting from Washington, Abigail Robertson, CBN News.
A new report on scores for college admissions tests shows that school lockdowns during the COVID pandemic, with scores on the ACT test by this year's high school graduates hitting their lowest point in more than 30 years. The class of 2022's average composite score was 19.8 out of 36. That marks the first time since 1991 the average score was below 20. Although ACT scores have declined steadily in recent years, the CEO of ACT said the magnitude of the decline this year is particularly alarming. A sad story to report to you now. Willie Spence, runner-up on last year's season of American Idol, died Tuesday in a car accident. Just hours before the deadly crash, the 23-year-old singer posted a video of himself singing a worship song. Spence recorded that video, as you can see, in his car, and he posted a 1-minute clip of it to his Instagram account early Tuesday. You can read more about Will Spence's tragic death and the reaction to it at CBNNews.com. Coming up, she is served as the former governor of South Carolina and the United States ambassador to the United Nations. Now Nikki Haley says there's one more job she'd like to have. It's the Oval Office. We'll hear more about that and her faith in God when we come back. Stay with us. Margaret Thatcher once famously said, "If you want something done, ask a woman." The quote is the inspiration behind the latest book by former South Carolina governor and the UN ambassador, Nikki Haley. CBN's Wendy Griffith recently talked with Haley at her home in South Carolina. They talked about her future plans, which could include a run for the White House.
Throughout her life, Nikki Haley was told she was too brown, too young, too conservative, and too female. But instead of backing down, Nikki took it as a challenge to do something and be something great.
We caught up with Haley near her home on South Carolina's Kiowa Island to talk about politics and her new book, If You Want Something Done, Ask a Woman. It features 10 extraordinary women who, like Haley, overcame incredible obstacles to achieve their dreams. Women like Israel's first Prime Minister, Golda Meir, to the Iron Lady herself, Margaret Thatcher.
She was a grocer's daughter, and she was one that really believed in herself. That's the lesson from Margaret Thatcher. She loved Great Britain, but she really believed in herself. And she came along when it didn't make sense. She didn't look the part. She didn't act the part. She was made fun of a lot. But what she saw was the devastation of socialism at the time. And so when she became prime minister, she really wanted to change all of that. She wanted people to have economic freedom. She wanted them to have the opportunities to be whoever they wanted to be.
Like Thatcher, Haley could relate to being an outsider. As part of the only Indian family in Bamberg, South Carolina, a small rural town, she learned a valuable lesson from her parents early on.
I remember when I would come home from school after being teased on the playground, and my mom would say, "Your job is not to show them how you're different. Your job is to show them how you're similar." And it's amazing how that lesson on the playground played out throughout my life. You know, whether it was in the corporate world, whether it was as governor, or whether it was as ambassador.
In 2004, Haley won a state house seat against a popular incumbent. And in 2011, became South Carolina's first female governor and the country's first minority female governor. During her second term, she saw her faith tested when a white gunman walked into a predominantly black church in Charleston and murdered 9 innocent people.
And at that point, I had hit rock bottom. I was so sad. I was so upset. I was trying to protect a state. I wanted everything to be okay. And I remember one day saying, you know, God, I'm broken. I can't do this unless you help me. And he was there. And I look at, even in my most challenging, darkest moments, you know, of any time in my life, that's when your faith grows. I always go back to Joshua, 1:9, be strong and be courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, because God will be with you every step of the way.
Then in 2016, President Trump asked Haley to be the ambassador to the United Nations. She agreed with conditions.
And I said, well, I'm not going to be a wallflower or a talking head. I need to be able to say what I think. And he said, Nikki, that's exactly why I want you to do this. And he was true to his word from the first day to the last day.
Haley took part in the historic vote to move the U.S. Embassy from Tel Aviv to Israel's capital of Jerusalem.
Jerusalem has always been the capital of Israel. So it was recognizing a truth. And I remember we were sitting in the National Security Council with President Trump, and everybody was telling him why he shouldn't do it. Everybody was telling him that war would break out. Everybody was telling him all the negative things that happened. And there were only 3 of us that day that stood up and said, you need to move the embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. When the president finally made that courageous step, for me to cast, one of the first American vetoes in years, when the world tried to condemn us for acknowledging a truth, it was a moment of pride for me.
After serving as governor here in South Carolina and later as U.S. ambassador to the United Nations, Nikki Haley says there's still one more job she'd like to have, and it's not vice president.
I don't play for second. I've never played for second. So if I end up running for president, it's to finish the deal. It's to go ahead and do it, and to lead in a way that makes America proud, to lead humbly, to lead with strength, to lead with conviction, and to lead in a way that knowing that when America is strong, the world is more safe.
In the meantime, she's hitting the campaign trail for fellow Republicans, while also running in a different way for herself, something she didn't think she could do.
I just decided, well, I'm going to try it. I'm going to try and see if I can run. And I think that running teaches you to be comfortable being uncomfortable. So I ran a half marathon in December, and now running has become such an outlet for me, because when you run, you know, in the mornings, you get your life together, you prioritize, you pray, you think about all the things that are really important.
When asked about running for president if former President Trump is in the race, she told me,
I think we have to see what he's going to do. I don't think he knows what he's going to do. And so, you know, we'll see in November, and we'll read what the tea leaves are and see what's going to happen. I think right now, America needs someone who's strong, someone who's going to be courageous, someone who's not going to back down from a fight, someone who's got the energy and the stamina to see this through, and someone that knows this is going to hurt before it gets better. And, you know, we deserve that. Our kids and our grandkids deserve that. And it's time. And, you know, sometimes it takes a woman.
Wendy Griffith, CBN News, Kiowa Island, South Carolina.
Nikki Haley's new book is called If You Want Something Done. It's available wherever books are sold. Still ahead, the overwhelming majority of languages in the world still don't have their own translation of the Bible, but now one group is working to change that because understanding the Old Testament is so important to understanding the New Testament. We'll look at this movement to bring the Hebrew Bible to those who don't have it, right after this. % of the world's languages do not have their own translation of the Old Testament. As Chris Mitchell now reports from Jerusalem, a movement seeks to change that and spur a global revolution in Bible access.
On Pentecost this year, these men and women gathered at the Garden Tomb to work on expanding the use of the Old or Original Testament worldwide.
Original Testament gap refers to the fact that the Original Testament is undertranslated, underused, and frequently misunderstood.
We therefore commit to do all that we can to accelerate the translation of the original testaments into every living language in order to help fulfill the Great Commission.
That resulted in signing the Jerusalem Declaration to eliminate the Original Testament gap.
That's what this consultation is about. We have people from around the globe that have gathered here very prayerfully to seek the Lord, saying, Lord, we're now aware that there is this very significant gap. Would you show us what we're to do and how you would see this eliminated, this gap eliminated?
YWAM's David Hamilton explains why they chose to use the term Original Testament.
Because when something's old, you just want to toss it out and replace it with something else. Original speaks of a foundation that has legacy and value in a multi-generational way. The Original Testament was the Bible that Jesus and the apostles used, and we want everyone to have access to it. The New Testament is most comprehensible when it's really connected to the Original Testament.
They point out that this is needed to fully understand the New Testament.
The Original Testament is the foundation for us to understand the gospel of the kingdom that Jesus came preaching.
Can you imagine reading the New Testament and you come across mention of David or Abraham or Moses or Rahab or Gideon or any of the other heroes of our faith, or places like Bethel or Jericho or Jerusalem, and events like crossing the Red Sea or manna in the desert, and you have no idea in your language what those stories were about? What happened? Who were these people?
To illustrate their point, they published the Gap Testament, a version of the New Testament without any references to the Original Testament.
So when there's a direct quotation, the text is whited out. When there's an intentional allusion, it's toned down to watermark level. And so this is what it looks like in Acts 7, when Stephen is talking and giving his sermon that gets him killed. And all but 2 verses are direct quotations out of the Original Testament. And you can see as you go through the scriptures, different parts are just missing, because when we read it, the New Testament, without an understanding of the original, we do not get the full picture of God's purposes. So we just want the fullness of God's good word to be available to all people. The goal is the whole word for the whole world.
Now comes the strategy, tools, and help they need to accomplish this huge goal.
Oh, first we're going to ask the Lord that His Spirit will stir people in their hearts and that they will want to participate and understand how important it is to understand that the only scripture that Jesus' disciples and Paul had was the original Testament.
And they're asking for the body of Christ to join them.
If you have this burden to eliminate that gap, we would invite you to start praying for it. Pray for all the languages in the world. 90% of the languages do not have the original Testament. Start praying for those languages.
Chris Mitchell, CBN News, Jerusalem.
Coming up, a big screen debut for the upcoming third season of the popular faith-based series The Chosen. We'll have that story for you when we come back. Stay with us. Fans of the popular faith-based series The Chosen are celebrating some big news today. The first 2 episodes of Season 3 will premiere on November 18th on the big screen in theaters. Dallas Jenkins, the series creator, director, writer, and executive producer, announced the news on Facebook, saying the first 2 episodes will premiere back-to-back on that date, only in theaters. The first 2 episodes will be in theaters for a short time before becoming available on the show's free streaming platform. The remaining 6 episodes will launch weekly on the app in December. The crowdfunded series about the life of Jesus and his disciples took the faith-based film industry by storm in 2017. According to the Chosen app, there have been more than 400 million views of the first 2 seasons, behind-the-scenes looks, and a cast Q&A. You can get all the details at cbnnews.com. Right now, it's time for your Thursday Thankful. I want to leave you with this prayer of gratitude. Dear God, I just want to thank you. You are faithful, and I'm so grateful. To that prayer, I just say amen, and I hope you will join me in agreement. With that, I encourage you to make this Thursday a one that is filled with gratitude to the God who gives and knows all. Well, that will do it for this edition of CBN News Watch. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, you can always find more of our programs on the CBN News Channel. You can also find them online at cbnnews.com at any time. We'd love to know what you think about the stories you've seen here today or any day. You can do that by emailing us. That address is right there at the bottom of your screen, newswatch@cbn.com. And of course, you can reach out and touch us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We'll see you tomorrow.